Hello guys, today I'm gonna be doing a tutorial about how to do custom logos to MTX Mototrax, the PS2 game of Neversoft. So you can look at my screen. I have this rider with a custom logo of Brazil. It's Brazil flag. If you play the game, you know that this is not possible. In the original game you don't have that flag. So I'm gonna teach you how to make the flag and logo that you want. You can add to the game. So let me show you first my street outfit. I have t-shirts. The generic t-shirts have these logos. You can choose any color, doesn't matter. So look at here, Brazil. You have a service, a lot, open stars, and Brazil. Look, that is a custom option. You don't need to replace any original logos. You can add a new logo, any logo that you want, and how many do you want to add. I'm gonna teach you the process, and we're gonna make a logo like this. To start modding, make sure you have the game installed. I recommend that you use that version of mine because it's already some extracted files. It will be much more easy, so just use mine. It's better because it's had the .wed extracted already, and it will be easier to mod. And the tools you will need: the HXD, the Hex Extractor, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it, the PreTool, THPsqscripted, and the most important, THUG2 Texture Tools by thpsqscripted. I didn't make any of these tools, so the original credits go to their creator. Okay, you don't need IOT8PS scene now. It's for 3D modeling. In another tutorial I can cover that, but you don't need it for customized logos and gears. Okay, with the tools and the game downloaded, let me explain how the game handles the logos. If you have the game folders, you can enter in this folder data, and you have these folders: fonts, image, levels, models is the game files. In this tutorial we're gonna modify two folders here. We're gonna modify this PRE, that are the game logic and the programming stuff, and we need to modify some texture for the additional logo. Okay, at the PRR folder you can come here and you can see that most of the files have no extension, but the extension is here on the name. So you can just do a rename and add .pre, and the file is now as openable in the PreTool. But we don't gonna need any of these files except the qb.script that is right here. It will probably comes with the PR files already, the PRR extension already, so you don't need to rename it. So the PRR file, it's that what calls the texture that is here. Texture, writer M, logos. You have all the textures of the logos here. Look for the qb script. It is just here. Okay, just now open your PreTool. Come here in the pre-file input. You can select it. Go to the folder, the PRR folder, and select the qb.pre. Open and load it. Okay, these are game scripts. You can do some checking on that interest stuff here. You can see all that, but the file we need is motoxcast _logos. It's right here. We need that file. Okay, it's a .kb, and you need the PreTool to open that kb. And now that we have here, we need to extract him. Let's extract him to here, and done. Now you can open the qb script here, file, open, and let's take the qb file we extracted with the PreTool. Okay, here is the script that make the logos accessible. So you just need to add here how many logos do you want and delete them if you want. Let's take, for example, you can take a logo like that. You can copy and paste it here, very easy. And now you can change it. Let's say logo Honda, The front-end description is what will appear in the front end of the game in the gear selection, and the texture, you need to point for texture that we don't have yet, but point it to logo Honda. Okay, and we can do it the same with the Yamaha logo. Just copy and paste it, change it to Yamaha. Okay, the front-end description, what will appear in the game gear selection, and point it to a file that we still don't have, but we're gonna make it right after. Okay, so done that, come here in file and compile the script. Okay, get back to PreTool. Here on the same file you extracted earlier, you can right click and replace the file. You're gonna check here and replace it with the qb file. Okay, don't replace it with the key file, so your game will crash. Replace it with the qb file that we added. Open, uncheck that, need to be unchecked, and update. Done. You can close the PreTool, you can close the QScripted, and you can delete that files we compiled earlier. You can come here and you can delete these two. Now that we made the script part, let's make the fun part, edit the textures. Go here in the logos folder, choose any texture that you want. You can choose whether text you want, it's not important, just choose one, copy and paste it. Let's edit, rename it exactly how you put it on the script. So we're gonna make logo Honda and we're gonna make logo Yamaha. Done. Okay, now we need to extract this texture that it is in here, but we don't have an extension, so we need to explicit put at the end of the file .img. Okay, this img file is not image file from Windows disks, is a proprietary format from Neversoft game engines from 2004, and that time games like Tony Hawk use this, but it's not image disk file. Okay, so made this. So let's take the tools we downloaded earlier, THUG2 Texture Tools, we're gonna need that. So we need to convert IMG to TGA. So let's take these two here, open it, go to the logos folder and choose the logo that we just rename it, and it's done. It's extracted now. It's a 128 pixels, and we can close that. So you can open it in your preferred image editor. I'm gonna use GIMP, I preferred it, and we can just open GIMP, and like that we have a logo here. Let's make our custom logo. First we can just delete this layer. Okay, doesn't matter, and let's take our logo. That logo is very good. Let's take it, copy and paste it to GIMP. Simple as that. On GIMP I go to layer, scale layer, and I'm gonna make it like 110 by 110. Okay, nice. Relative to image, and let's just align it. It's already aligned. Okay, so we can now you need to see, okay, you need to learn that the image itself, it will be shown just the area that the alpha channel shows. So what I mean is, if the alpha channel is something like bigger than that, look at that. If the alpha channel is something like here, it will just appear that small dot, that small part on the final logo. So you need to be sure that the alpha channel is covering just what you want to show up. In my case, is the Honda logo. Okay, so to make it a little more realistic, we can make right button, alpha to selection. Okay, so let's invert the selection, and now let's make it a little more fatter. I think 8 pixels is good. Let's make it here, and let's delete and Control Shift A. It's okay, nice. I made a softer edge to make it more realistic when we port it to the game. Okay, so you can go to File and Overwrite Logo. Nice. Now let's make this same process to our Yamaha logo. You can just open the program, and okay, you need to add the explicit extension .img, and right here extract it. Okay, so you have Yamaha logo, another Michelin. We just copy paste it. Let's take the Yamaha logo. I like that one with blue. Let me use this. I think that logo is nice. Let's copy, paste it. On GIMP we can just delete this layer. We don't need it. We can paste it. Let's go to layer, scale layer. Let's make it 110 by 110. Better. Let's just delete it all. No further edges, just delete that. Okay. Okay. We can select the alpha channel, alpha selection. We can select, we can invert it, and we can make it a little fatter. Let's make 8 pixels is good. Let's delete it. Let's increase that. Let's try more or less, let's say 15 pixels. Let's delete it. I think that will be nicer. Okay, we can do that, and we can overwrite the original file. Okay, so if your logo is done, you can close the editor. So now we have our files. We need to compress it for the other way around. We did image to TGA. Let's make now TGA to image. Simple as that. Open the program and select the logo that you want. I'm gonna select the logo Honda. Here you need to make these two things. You need to select the THUG1 option. Okay, and you need to compress it to IMG. Okay, you need to compress it. Okay, file converted. XBX file. Okay, that's correct. You can delete the other two. You can delete your TJ file and your IMG file. So you need to rename it to be just like the other logos. You can't have any extension, and you need to add the ZEMG at the file. Okay, you need to add it. In other case it won't work. Okay, so if you have a better way to remove the extension on Windows, you can tell me, please. But the way I do, it's I open the Hex extractor, I open the logo, and I open some game logo, and you need to copy the first two lines. Okay, go to the game logo, not the one you edited. Go to the game logo. You need to copy the first two lines. Just copy, came here and paste it. Okay, just like that, and hit save button, and you're done. Okay, close the Hex Editor. Now you have these two files. Okay, you don't need this file anymore. You can delete it. The XBX file, you don't need it. Okay, delete it. And now the most important and final part, rename it. Delete it, all the extensions, just the logo Honda name, and most important, add an ZEMG at the end of the file. Not dot, you don't need the dot, it's just that, and it will remove the extension of the file. Yes, so now you have a Honda logo. Okay, just do the same process with Yamaha. Let's do it again. Came here, logo Yamaha, THUG2, we're gonna use for THUG2 file format, and compress the image. So look at that, I had the 256 max for compressed files. So if you had 0, it is very easy to solve. And to logo Yamaha, and we're gonna posterize it for something like 10 colors. Let's color, posterize, let's decrease it, let's something like 10 colors is good. Okay, just posterize it, is easy as that, and you can overwrite the logo. And let's try it again. Let's call the program logo Yamaha THUG2 and let's compress the image. So it worked. We have now successfully converted the image. Okay, you can close that. You can delete the TGA file, don't need it anymore, and you can delete the IMG file as well. So with the Yamaha file, open the Hex Editor, open it, open some other logo. Any logo works. If it's not, if it works in the game, you can just use it to take the header. Let me use the logo Honda. You can do it. Okay. Copy the first 2 lines of the header. You need to copy this and paste it in here. Okay. So the game will read it correctly. You can save it. Nice. You can close the program. Now you have these 2 files. You don't need this xbx file. You can delete it, and most importantly, rename it to be the logo Yamaha that is in the script we made earlier, and add the IMG at the name. Okay, so let's test it on the game. We open the game here and let's do edit writer. Let's do street outfit. Let's try shirts, t-shirt. It needs to be generic. The Puma t-shirts, you can't have any logo in it, so use the generic. And choose your color. I'm gonna choose lavender. Okay, and we have here Brazil, the logo I added earlier, and let's find our Honda and Yamaha logos. Okay, we have, look at that. I think it's very nice. Logo Honda, I really think it's very nice. And Yamaha, very nice too. I think it's a little big. We can decrease the size, but it is. Custom options, custom logos in MTX Mototrax. But let's test it. Okay, let me try red. No, let me try white and on the logo. Man, that's nice. I really like it. Okay, let's test on the game. I can make another tutorial for the gears, but it's almost the same process. Like I make these custom goggles. Look at that. It's almost the same process. I just edited the texture files and I overlapped the black edition of the generic goggles, and I think it's very nice, this gradient effect. And let's test it on the game. And look at that, we have a custom logo in our MTX game. Nice. What do you think of that? That bike is custom too. I made it earlier. It's a CRA 450 black edition. I made it myself. It doesn't have on the game. I will make a tutorial of how can you do that too, but for this tutorial, look at our logo. We have it right here and we can just play the game.